This year, give the gift of safety, give the gift of reliability, and give the gift of all-wheel drive. Lease the proven 2018 Honda CR-V LX all-wheel drive for $199 per month. Get great features and all-wheel drive for only $199 per month. I'm Jason Perico, and there's no better gift than a Honda.
Oh man, I've been looking forward to hearing that song all dang day. We're talking with Jim Brunelli, head coach of the Gannon Lady Knights. Coach, welcome back to the show.
Hey, it's good to be back, buddy. I haven't heard that song in a while. It always puts a smile on my face.
Great. You'll be hearing it live the next time we do this, hopefully.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can't wait for that, buddy.
Yeah, I could ship it to you on a flash drive if you want to wake up to it. We could set it to your alarm or something.
You know what? I think Dan Telesky sent it to me late last year for one of my players needed it, and so I think I have it somewhere.
Okay, fine. Then I guess I won't send it to you then.
That's okay, yeah.
Hey,
I guess there's a couple versions.
Ooh.
So we got to get the most up-to-date one, I guess.
Ooh, good to know. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'll have to hit Dan up and his team of assistants that he has now.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, 91-89, you took on Elizabeth City State, and you won the game in overtime. I guess that, they can't all be exciting, right?
You start off the season with an overtime game. You can't get much better than that. But we really didn't want to take it to overtime. But, the team showed so much composure for as many young kids as we have and who get playing time. I was really proud of the composure they had because we made a couple mistakes in that game late in the game that I think most teams probably would have crumbled with the turnovers that we had at really, really crucial times. So I was really proud of the composure of this team and this young group, and just super proud of them. When you can have 6 in double figures and put up 91 points, really happy. We just shot the heck out of the ball and played a little bit of defense, but super proud of them.
I'm looking at the team you went up against. They had some players. That Luster, she was, shooting the lights out. 9 rebounds she pitched in as well. That must be the points in the paint that they came up with. But Brown, Deal, Giggets, they had several players that could play.
Oh, no doubt about it. Coach Davis does a nice job. It's just his second year, and he's kind of retooled and was allowed to go in and bring in players that are his style, and he's done a tremendous job there in just a short time. But, yeah, the Luster kid, she's phenomenal. You hate to give up 29 points, but she just did a little bit of everything, and she did it well. And we were just glad that we had a few more of our team that was in, the scoring column than they did. And we made some good decisions down the end and got the ball right where we needed to be on a backdoor cut to Tori Obenrader. And she knocked down the game winner as the buzzer sounded.
That was awesome. Was that a special play that you drew up, or is that one that I won't tell your upcoming opponents? Is that one that you kind of go to often?
You know what? It's one that we've run before, but we're actually installing it tomorrow, so everybody else knows what to do. We had the ball in Chelsea Rourke's hand, and it's usually just a too high screen, and we look for Chelsea to get to the rim and finish. And, because either way, it was going either we were going to win it or we were going to go into double overtime. But when you watch the film, you'll notice Tori's defender just falls asleep. She's just focused on the ball so much, doesn't realize what's going on. And in our offense, our UMass offense, we run a dribble drive. So one of the things that we do is you go back door. And she just cut back door because her kid fell asleep. And Chelsea had her head and eyes up and saw her and hit her at the last second, and she made the bucket.
To no one's surprise, really, Chelsea Rourke played a really nice game. She had those 9 rebounds, made the heads-up play to end the game, as you just said. 7 for 13 from the floor. Here's the biggest number that stood out to me: 42 minutes. Is she going to be Is she going to be the one? Is she going to be the one going for a ton of minutes all year?
We're hoping not. We look at her and say, is she going to be the Maggie Mitchell of this year's team? Because Maggie was a minute. She led the league in minutes the last 2 years she was here. We hope we don't have to do that, but Chelsea is just that type of player that when you have her on the court, at least for me, I feel good. she's that calming presence I think she has on the team, and we know what we're going to get from her every time she steps on the court, offensively and defensively. And we didn't want to have to play her that much, but we're shorthanded a little bit. We have a guard out right now who should be back tomorrow in practice. Wasn't able to play. She tweaked an ankle in practice earlier this week, so we are kind of down one of our kids who would get some time there. But we played a lot of kids, double-figure minutes. I think I'm looking at the stats right now. We played 10 players, 9 of them saw 11 minutes or more. So that's not too bad at all.
Looking at Sydney Mitchell's stat line from Elizabeth City State, I see that she's going to have better days from behind the arc. But if that part of your game isn't going to work, you're entitled to down games. It's good to see that she filled out the rest of the stat sheet. It looks like she knew that she needed to do a little something more.
Yeah, she grabbed a few more rebounds. We don't like the stat where she had 8 turnovers, but that's just her being aggressive. And she calmed down in the next game. You saw she went 1 for 6 against Elizabeth City State. And then she turned around the next day and went 2 for 2 from behind the arc and 5 for 5 from the free throw line. So she's the type of kid who has the potential to be what I call a stat stuffer. She's going to put stats in each and every line. We just hope there's not a lot of turnovers. And surprisingly, in that game, she didn't get some blocks like she did in the Johnson C. Smith game, because she's that long, lanky type defender that we really like. And she's not going to necessarily get out and get you for 94 feet, but she's going to make her decisions and get blocks as somebody goes by. She might come from the help. She has a ridiculous arm reach, you know what I mean? So she's able to swipe people from behind and block shots. So, but yeah, she was a little bit cold, even though she put up 14 points. It was doing the little things. Her three-point shot wasn't working, so she took a couple pull-ups, got to the rim a little bit, and had a nice game. Actually had 2 nice games.
Just rounding out some of these stats, LaCava was 6 for 12. That's good with 5 rebounds, ended up with 12 points. Tavis had 12 boards, so she was doing her job. How about Boston McKinney? It'll be fun to get to know Boston McKinney.
Yeah, she's a little firecracker. Love Boston, what she brings to the table. She's fiery. She's a little spitfire, a little water bug. She's quick and fast. She's very elusive, and she's adjusting well to the college game. All these freshmen are just learning kind of our system. Everybody comes from a different system, and they do things differently on defense and offense. And right now, most of our kids are having a little bit of an issue with the type of defense that we play. And so as they get used to that, and as we get on them in practice, they're going to get better and better. And she's a kid that's going to be an impact player, and she won the Freshman of the Week already this week.
Fantastic. That's good news. Congrats to her.
Yeah.
How about 44,
you,
Sam Perosco? She went 19 minutes off the bench, but 5 for 5. That earns you a little bit more playing time usually.
Oh, it sure does. She was, they were getting her the ball. She was moving well on the offensive end. And when we drove, she relocated, as we call it, and was able to finish, score simple. That's what we want from our post players, is to score simple. And so she did that very effectively against Elizabeth City State. We're really proud of those freshmen stepping up.
On to Johnson C. Smith. Boston McKinney had another 10 points. You had Rourke at 15. You had Mitchell at 13. You had Nakava at 11. Coach, bench points. What else did I write down here? Points off turnovers. You do it in a lot of different ways. Score points.
Yeah, I was really proud. I wanted to go back to Tori Obenrader because she opened up her career with, I believe, a double-double.
Yep.
10 points, 10 rebounds in Johnson C. Smith, which she had a double-double against Pitt earlier in the week with 18 points, 11 rebounds. But, our defense, we started off really well. And when we're fresh, our defense it can be very, very good. And we started off in a little bit of our 1-3-1 zone and got some steals and got some deflections and got some easy baskets. And that's what I felt when we started off in the third quarter. To start the third quarter, we ended up with, it was a 3-point game. We extended it to a 5-point game immediately because we got a steal and went down. Chelsea scored a layup. So we're just trying to build this defense. We know we have the potential on the offensive end We have a lot of talent, like I said at Media Day. We have a lot of talented kids, especially in this freshman class, but even our returners. We have a talented group. The only thing that's different with us is our freshmen, they're just inexperienced. You know what I mean? They don't have that college games under their belt, but, we have 3 of them right now, and, we just got to keep shooting at a good clip. But more importantly on my end is I like that defense and staying locked in and doing the things that we do, not going out on a limb and trying to do something we've never done on the defensive end. We just got to stay committed to playing our style defense, and I think we're going to be okay.
Talking with Jim Brunelli, head coach of the Gannon Lady Knights. I'm always interested to see the beginning of the year, the results. Sometimes you want to take it with a grain of salt if you lose games. In this case, you just won 2, so we're naturally going to start guaranteeing a PSAC champ. No, I'm kidding. But, you get what I'm saying, though. The first week, How do you prepare as a coach? You're not going to prepare your team the way you want them to be playing, in January. So what are the marks that you strive to attain so that they're as ready as possible for their first couple of games?
Yeah, with us, I think it's just getting in the reps. We start official practice on October 15th, even though we've been working out since August 27th, just trying to get the whole team together and getting reps. And, we had an early exhibition game where we only had, I think I counted 12 days of practice time, or 12 practices. And I thought we had a good showing against Pitt, so that made me feel a little bit better. But it's just one of those things where, there's just, as you plan your calendar, at least for me, what I do as a head coach, there's certain things I want to have in and I want to work on. And a lot of our time in practice, it's repetitive. I know it's not, I always say, practices aren't made for the enjoyment of players. That's not. You don't make practices for the enjoyment of your team. Yeah, there's some fun stuff that we do. We have some competition type stuff, but we have to do a lot of reps in order to get the defense that we want, to get the offense where we need it. And so it's over and over and over. And I strive for perfection. If we're running 5-on-0 and we do something that's not right, I blow a gasket because there's no defense out there. There's nobody out there. You're just running the offense. And if you're screwing it up running 5-on-0, you're going to have problems when someone throws a defense out there. So we just strive for perfection. And I know that's crazy, but if we aim high, then, if we fall a little bit short, we're still going to be better off than where we were before. So, but it's, just little benchmarks going along and trying to make sure that your kids are moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I think just generally speaking in sports, if the most uncomfortable you feel is in practice, so if you turn up the intensity so that, let's talk about it from a conditioning standpoint. If you run harder in practice than you'll ever be asked to run in a game, it's going to benefit you when it comes to the game setting. And I think that's kind of what you're getting at, Coach.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I think if you talk to any coach, practices are going to be harder than games. And when you get to the game, it's going to be easy, and that's what you strive for. However, the things that you can't prepare for, and I have yet to know how you prepare for it, is just the anxiety, the anxiousness, the excitement that putting on that game jersey and playing in front of a crowd does. It can zap you, and it can zap you in different ways, and I know with us, it kind of zaps us in the conditioning aspect. We get so hype that some of our players don't last very long. So that's why we got to try to, it's nice to have a deep bench. We can get kids rest. We can get kids in and out, get them a quick breather, and then get them back in. So once I figure out how to replicate, the game day experience, I'm not going to tell you but that I did, but I'm going to try to sell it right away.
Yeah, no doubt. You have to write a book about that.
Exactly.
Coach, you've got a long season to prepare for. We're kind of going backwards, but I want to ask you about Pitt. That's a fun one. Yep. As fans, we go, oh, cool, Pitt. They took on the Gannon Lady Knights. That's a great experience, great exhibition game. You got a job to do. What are you trying to figure out going up against a team that, let's face it, you're going to go in as the underdog against?
No doubt. It's one of those things, and I think you know me by now, Alex, that I'm not a type of coach that's going to, put cupcakes on our schedule and give our team false hope. I know Pitt, overall really, when you look how they do in the ACC, they weren't the best team there. But we're going against ACC Division I caliber athletes. And Pitt has a very nice team that was taken over by a great coach in Coach White and they have a tremendous coaching staff, and they're going to be successful this year, and they're going to be successful in the future because I know Coach White and I know what he's going to do there for Pitt. But just being able to go there, play what I call a local game for us, because we have a couple kids from that area that, we had some fans. We had a lot of fans there. It was just nice to be able to go and execute against some super athletic type players. And I think if we can do that and do it on a consistent basis, kind of work out the kinks, then we're going to be able to do that later on in the year and build off those experiences that you take away. Hey, remember when we ran play XYZ and it worked against this kid and this, that. Those are things that you pull off of to try to give your kids some confidence. And I thought we had a lot of confidence. The final score didn't indicate how close that game was or however you want to look at it. But we just went in there, and I was really proud of the team.
Yeah, Coach, I thought maybe that you were cool with cupcake opponents, but didn't you at one time schedule UConn?
Well, that game was handed to me.
Okay, all right.
Kelly was there, but those are the type of schools that we've done. In my past, we've played, the Clemson, the South Carolina, the Wake Forest. We've always played tough opponents, and my schedules, we've always played teams that are going to make us better. We'll go out, play the Grand Valley States. We'll go out this year. We play Bowie State. Teams that have been to the NCAA tournament. We got to test our kids early, and win, lose, or draw, it's going to be an experience, and we're going to turn it into positives.
Yeah, not much time to rest. It'll be the 14th. What's that, Wednesday, that you take on Fairmont State University. What can you tell us about that opponent early on?
Fairmont, they're 1-1 on the year. They lost to Seton Hill to start the season, and then they beat Lock Haven. They have a nice group down there. Their coach does a nice job. They have some really talented players that, as far as guards, I think they have one that's putting up like 22 points a game right now in 2 games. So we're going to have to make sure we keep an eye on her and try to contain her. They just have a lot of experience at every position. And they have some playmakers, and we're just going to try to hopefully disrupt what they do and kind of keep them on their toes as best we can. At least that's the game plan right now.
Good stuff. And then it's Bowie State Saturday. Same question, I guess.
Yeah, same thing. Haven't seen much film on them and probably won't watch any until Wednesday night on the way home from Fairmont State, just try to stay focused one game at a time. But
Gotcha.
They're a team that was an NCAA tournament team and played for a regional championship, Atlantic Regional Championship last year, and IUP ended up beating them, but I believe Bowie State ended up beating Edinburgh last year in the NCAA tournament. So they have a great group of kids, and they're athletic, and they get after it, and they have experience. So haven't seen them on film yet, but we won't worry about that until, like I said, Wednesday night, Thursday morning when we start preparing for them.
Great stuff. He is head coach Jim Brunelli of the Gannon Lady Knights. And, Coach, I'm looking forward to calling your games this year, at least the PSAC contests. I do have to say, I think we need to put a call in. I think you need a radio broadcast up in Fairbanks, Alaska. And I'm willing to be the guy.
You're willing to go up there. Yeah, this is going to be a great experience for our ladies. I took my former institution up there in 2012-13, and we had a great experience. They experienced cold weather, very cold weather, because I don't think it got as warmer than minus 24. But it's just a different part of the country, different part of the world, and they do things differently there. And so just a neat experience for our team, and I'm hoping that I can share that same experience with this Gannon team.
Awesome stuff. Jim Brunelli, congrats on the big weekend. Good luck moving forward, and take care, okay?
Hey, Alex, thanks for having me on, and look forward to continuing to talk with you about the Gannon Lady Knights.
Absolutely. Thanks, Coach. Take care.